4-2.
Yeah, I don't know what
And
you're
I was
talking
looking
about.
for Tega's
Boom.
number.
Boom.
Hi
Studio.
guys.
And we are inside the locker room for Feel Good Friday. This is how it goes. 8:15, that's when we bring in the sports.
That's right. It's time now for locker room. We've got Tega the Tiger, the the LIS convener,
You're trying.
the Supreme.
Oh my days, Pepper. Continue. So,
Should I come in now? I need to rescue him from digging.
I'm not sure what just happened, but okay. So, people, that was Pepper's first introduction of Tiger in his role as hype man.
Mm.
How would you vote that? Please send us your WhatsApp messages. Let us know. 0809 444 981. And to the people who now say Shopper is your fault,
Tega can't even stop laughing.
nobody can stop laughing. All right, so Tega, hey, how's it going? What was it? Tega the Supreme.
Tega the Tiger.
Tiger.
I've recovered a little bit. Good morning, everybody. How was your week? Mine was great. I'm so happy it's Friday. Not that I rest on Saturday, really, but I'm just happy it's Friday.
Okay, well, we're glad to have you in the studio. So, how was your week? She's asked the question. All right, so do remember to join us however you can, wherever you can, whether it's via our website, smooth981.fm, whether it's up on youtube.com/smooth981fm Lagos, where Tega does her dance for you just on the live stream, and where you can leave your comments up underneath that live stream, and you can send WhatsApp messages into 0809 444 981, and Twitter, tag at Tega Supreme, and use the hashtag LockerRoom981 to get your thoughts into the right place.
Yeah, and don't tag people. did a poor job. But yeah, so this week was really interesting. Before we get into other stories, yeah, this week was really interesting for those of you that promote hitting people that look for your trouble. You know, we like to promote certain things. That's how Mike Tyson.
Ew.
Yes, on the play.
Oh no.
I don't know. First of all, I don't know what was wrong with that guy, Sha. He just kept going, Mike Tyson. This is Mike Tyson. You know, he was.
He was a little too amped up.
Yeah, the first part we saw was him just hopping around Mike Tyson, and then the next thing we saw was Mike Tyson hitting the guy. So I don't know what the rules are now. I think the rules would still be the same about Mike Tyson, because even if he hasn't boxed in a while,
His fists are still weapons.
yeah, he's still a trained boxer.
Mm.
So if that guy decide to push, Mike Tyson is in real trouble. He could go to jail. For all of you, I'd like to say, oh, why did you look for Mike Tyson's trouble? He used his words. Mike Tyson used his hands.
My dear, and not just once.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. And a boxer knocking out somebody, or well, hitting somebody with no training. Well, all I can say is sometimes you guys have to post on social media with some sense, but it's okay. But speaking about fighting, there's a fight this weekend. That's the one that Mike Tyson should be looking to get to, should he decide to continue. But yeah, it's Tyson Fury taking on Dylan White. Now, the reason I'm not going to waste 10,000 minutes on this is because it's a Tyson Fury win. The question is, will he win in the first round? Or in the seventh?
Wow.
That's the question. Like a Tyson Fury win is not a question. But I'm waiting to be shocked.
All right. So the messages are already coming in, and hold on. Taya is just sending messages after messages. We'll read them out in just a bit, but let's get through the tell you what's coming up, the rundown for the locker room for a Feel Good Friday. And we'll be talking about the Nets versus the Celtics, Boston strangling Kevin Durant, while Wimbledon ban on Russia players is discrimination. That's what Andrei Rublev says. We've got Charles Leclerc, who's the Ferrari driver, says he and Max Verstappen hated each other in their go-karting days. And Arsenal boss Arteta says he was wrong about Tugo Nketiah. We've got Mourinho returning to Inter, looking to derail the title bid, and a Real closing in on title, while Atletico is frustrated. Manchester City can cope with title pressure. That's what De Bruyne says, and Everton manager Lampard insists the players are showing fight and commitment. And that is the rundown for the locker room.
And by the way, there are messages coming in already with reactions to Mike Tyson. And they says, now the guy find trouble now. Why would Yanga be sleeping and trouble will come and wake you
Okay.
up. Mekantoni
Wow.
from Ajegunle is the
Okay.
one who sent in that
That's what I'm saying.
message.
People should. The guy used his words. Mike Tyson used his fist. It's two different things. There's provocation, and then there's assault with a deadly weapon, which is Mike Tyson.
But you know, I've said this because sometimes when Tega says some stuff, I'm like, words should also be classified as deadly weapons.
Yeah, but
And
if he just
Mike Tyson isn't trained as much with words, but he knows. Anyways,
And
My
I'm not
gosh,
supporting.
guys, imagine Mike Tyson's fists and Tega's mouth in one package.
no,
There will not be human beings around you.
no, it's not even happening. Like Mike Tyson wants to hit me. How? I would have bragged so much. He'd just be like,
No.
"What is happening?"
I mean, both of you in one package. Can
oh
the
yes.
world take it? I don't
oh,
think so.
Well, Tyre from Ajaz says social media made folks way too comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face.
Oh, that's what Mike Tyson said.
Yes,
But Mike Tyson cannot be hitting people. I'm sorry. There's no excuse for what he did.
All right, let's.
He
vote
could have
now.
called the flight attendant.
Violence is not an option.
It's not even
agree.
remotely an answer. Plus, the slapping, whether it's the slap in Anambra or is the punches on the plane, none. Everyone could simply have been avoided. You're an adult. You're not a wild animal. Try to use your words.
Okay, let's start things off. And on Wednesday, the Boston Celtics made it more than tough on Durant. They made his life a living hell en route to a 114-107 Game 2 victory over the Brooklyn Nets to take a 2-0 lead in their first round series.
Yes, so huge one. Now, this is where a fight should have been, and there was no fight. So let me paint a picture. So after the Celtics won Game 1 at the buzzer, I expected a reaction from the Brooklyn Nets, and boy, did they bring it in the first half. You know, Kyrie Irving was just showing them why he was Kyrie Irving. Kevin Durant chipped in one or two shots here, but it was not just about the shots that they made. It was about the way they were playing. They looked like they were going to completely blitz Boston Celtics, led by as much as 17 points. Then Boston Celtics gathered around and told themselves, we cannot play these guys points for points. They will outshoot us. What we can do, though, is defend. We have the defensive player of the year. We are young, we are agile, and that's all we need to do. That's how these guys decide to double team Kevin Durant. They're not just double teaming him, they're double teaming him. You know how you hit somebody without fouling them, so you don't hit their hand, but you use your shoulder to notch their shoulder. Just frustrating. Like, this guy was 0 of 10 from the floor. An entire second half, Kevin Durant did not score a single point from open. Nothing.
My goodness.
He had to go to the free throw line to get some points. That's how bad he was. He was, I think, 9 of 24 shots. It was a horrible performance. And yes, people will say maybe Kevin Durant is not back in his groove, but Kevin Durant is the guy that they told you that was indefensible against. Like, you could double team him, triple team him, and you also find a way to make a shot. They made him horrible throughout the second quarter. They did the same thing to Kyrie Irving, who was blazing in the first two quarters. So it was a horrible second half for both teams. And Boston Celtics, who were the guys that supposedly, allegedly, luckily stole the game in the dying minutes, now came back with good defensive play from Jaylen Brown, from Jason Tatum. They didn't leave it to anybody. From Marcus Smart, everybody chipped in, put in the work, and they were able to defeat Brooklyn Nets by 2 games now. So they lead by 2 games now. The question is, how will Steve Nash and Brooklyn Nets respond? Because they're not a good defensive team. Their pride has always been offensive. And that's one. Another great comeback happened early hours of this morning. It was Memphis Grizzlies against Timberwolves. And at some point, I just went to bed. I was like, you know what? Ja Morant is already on 2 fouls. He has only 3 points. He has only 2 assists. Coach has decided to rest him before he gets a 3rd foul. They're 16 points down. This game is over. I woke up this morning. Timberwolves lost.
Oh.
They led by as much as 26 points.
How did you go to sleep on that?
Exactly. They led by as much as 26 points in the 3rd quarter. The rally back was the most amazing thing. So for me, it's the way,
these guys.
Like I said, playoff basketball is different. It's a different kind of horse. You can't just ride it like you're leisuring through the middles. You have to hustle from the first minute to the very last minute. And so that's what happened. But on the other end, it's same old for teams like Golden State Warriors and 76ers. leading 3-0 in their series. Looks like they're going to do a sweep in those series.
Meanwhile, can I say we need to take it back, rewind to before the show, where Ola on Third Mainland Bridge said, I had to send this in before the show begins. This is an appeal to the almighty Tega. You have to dedicate some minutes to give us Arsenal fans and the team some credit. Watch out this weekend.
Please react. You have to.
Guys,
I'd already said.
People was looking for Tega on the group chat.
I was
Where's
like, who has
Tega?
Tega?
I was
number.
I was
Where's
wondering
Tega?
why he was looking for me. I'd already said it's a derby and form doesn't count. So why are you
This is
excited?
not exactly what you said on Wednesday.
That's-
Tega.
You know what I'm going to do? For this reason,
He's
by
going to
I'm going to go and bring that thing now. What I said, and we're going to play it back. And you're going to now you wanted to drag me, Abi. You're going to be dragged like a small generator.
My goodness. Let's get into tennis, please.
All right. Russian world number 8, Andrei Rublev, said Wimbledon's ban on Russian and Belarusian players is complete discrimination and illogical.
Yes, so huge one. Wimbledon brought out their own statement saying that because of the invasion of Ukraine, Russian and Belarusian athletes will not be allowed to play at the All England Club. So basically, it's out of their hands. ATP and WTA, on the other hand, had said that those players can participate in the tournaments, but without their flags. But Wimbledon is saying, no, don't even come. We are not going to let you people here. So basically, punishing the sons for the sins of the father. And players like Andrei Rublev, who have actually,
point,
at the risk of their own families back at home, have spoken out against the war, is coming to say, you can't do that to us. This it's just. I'm not even talking about the number of players, because tennis is so great that whether there's Andrei Rublev or Daniel Medvedev or Arina Sabalenka, Vandrosova, all those people will miss, but tennis will still go on, and the game will still be good. But it's just, why shouldn't we play because of something that we don't support that our country did? Because at some point I understood to an extent why they were trying to pressure the oligarchs of Russia to try and pressure the
at
president.
this point, when do we now start saying discrimination?
This
Discrimination?
is discrimination.
Because, come on, man.
Because at this point,
This is official sanctioned discrimination.
because these guys can't, there's nothing they can do. Like, we've heard stories or we've heard reports, whether they're founded or unfounded, about how a lot of Russian people are against the invasion. But there's really nothing they can do. I understand pressuring Russian oligarchs are close to Putin. So it will be like maybe they're the ones backing Putin in
Said, come on,
silence.
let me remove my money from you.
But what can, like, from Andrew Ruble's point of view, what can his hitting tennis have to do with
Because also, if you ban him from tennis, we saw Ukrainian players, and to the ones who passed away, may their souls rest in peace. But last night you're giving him the opportunity to now say, well, nobody else likes me. Let me go and fight for my country. Come on, guys.
I mean, he probably won't even fight, but he'll just be like, you know what? Now you've created another enemy.
Yeah.
So there's another animosity there. So I think it's just, I don't know the situation, especially as ATP and WTA had already made a stand. And even after the Wimbledon statement, they still came out to say, you know what, we don't support this. So, I mean, both organizations are in talks. So we wait to see how this pans out.
Well,
Pepple need
Josh
that.
sends me another letter. He says, Dear Pepple, this is my second letter to you. So you want to drag Tega? See me here sitting in my study and shaking my head for you, bro. Don't start what you can't finish. It's Tega, oh.
Let's do the next story.
We've got to take a break, but guess what? We've got more messages. Tosan says, good morning, everyone. Victor Pepple is getting there.
Thank you, Tosan.
Tosan, you like Pepple, don't you? It's okay. People saying that the dude shouldn't have taunted Mike Tyson are saying nonsense. Mike Tyson is a trained boxer, and he should have restrained himself. If that guy charges him for assault, he could go to jail. Anyway, Tyson's happy jail, Bella. Also says Arteta should be playing El Neni. He showed that he's worth starting for Arsenal. And as for Nketiah, Arteta should explain why he doesn't use him. Whereas also Bolton Celtics coach knows what he's doing. And all of that is from Tosan. Okay, so let's take that break. We'll be back with more stories inside the locker room.
I'm telling you, every small thing, he went to look for trouble, so you slap him. I hope they send him to jail.
No, they won't.
No, because his own is assault with a deadly weapon. Because he's a trained boxer, he's not supposed to fight in public. You know that's a different level.
No, but the guy was pushing him.
The guy did
Okay.
not push him. The guy was just saying, Mike Tyson, dude, Mike
Are we
Tyson.
gonna swap? Are we gonna skip leapfrog
No, no,
over
no, because
Leclerc?
no, because there's a race this weekend. We can't look for.
So we have to just
We
go
have to
as
just do it, and maybe probably a minute.
yeah. So many messages.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I haven't been checking YouTube. Let's go over to
He
YouTube.
can't be doing that. Can't say they will look for my trouble. How many people look for your trouble? If you were Tyson Fury that was saying, dude, look at Mike Tyson, will he punch Tyson Fury? They're not born and well now. He knows. I mean, people pick on who they
And he
pick on
punched the
because
guy repeatedly.
repeatedly.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. Mr. Nekachi, I see you. Chimabi Victor, I see you. Olufemi Omotayo, imagine. Arsenal fans still want to enjoy bands for a past game when they still have real competitors for the top four. Manchester United and Tottenham ahead. Okay,
You don't
continue.
know that thing is assault. Okay, no, boxer, trained fighter is assault with a weapon. It's not a deadly weapon, but it's a deadly
The deadly weapon is a Hollywood term.
weapon. It's a assault with a, because he's a weapon. He's a trained boxer. Cannot
Yeah.
be fighting like that.
His finger could do what my two hands
So remember,
cannot do.
let me explain to you. Remember when Floyd Mayweather gave his ex a slap and he went to jail because he cannot hit somebody. So it was a slap, but it was a slap by a trained boxer. It's assault with a weapon. 90 days. I don't think he completed the 90 days, but he did go to jail.
Yeah.
He came out with good behavior.
Y'all gotta learn, man.
Y'all gotta learn, man. Can't be hitting people like that.
And when you have fists of steel.
Exactly. Hey, oh, Mike Tyson used to knock people out in the first second of the match. People just buy popcorn before they sit down. Fight's over. That's the guy that was
And that's
punching
people who
somebody
went to the
repeatedly on
gym
the
to
plane.
train against him.
Did you see the guy on the plane? He couldn't cry. He was in between stunned and crying. I'm sorry. That's not the way you do. He was too stunned to cry and too hurt not to cry.
Oh. Oh, okay. I want to read out Chimabi Victor's message on YouTube. All right, back for the sports, and we are up on YouTube reading your messages. Mr. Nekachi says, Tega, assault with a deadly weapon. That is hilarious. Whilst Chimabi Victor says, so Tega went to sleep and woke up to the greatest comeback. This is basketball.
Yeah, like anybody can be beaten, just the way Arsenal silence and Chelsea fans on Wednesday. We're
Yeah.
still waiting for Tega's comment on that.
Yeah.
And everyone is saying I should run away. I should not, bring you.
Hey, why did I? What was I doing at halftime? Continue.
Oh, I forgot you. And Olufemi Omotayo says, imagine Arsenal fans still want to enjoy bands for a past game when they still have real competitors
Who
for
is
the
this?
top four.
You
Manchester
have
United
to
and
celebrate
Tottenham
your wins
ahead.
first. Before
Okay,
you celebrate the
continue.
win that you have first before you start looking for the next mountain. It will help you to conquer the next mountain. Meanwhile, Manchester United are not in a better place than Arsenal, so I mean.
Just saying. All right, real quick, let's take it to Formula One. And Charles Leclerc says that he and Max Verstappen hated each other at one point when they were younger because of their fierce rivalry. Leclerc said it's going to be very close. It has always been very close.
Yeah, so I remember when they were younger, and there was a time they actually even got to a fist fight, because Charles Leclerc, as usual, had done his deadly assassin move, pushed Max Verstappen off the track, and then went on to say, we were just racing, with a smile on his face. And then Max Verstappen was so angry, you could see him, just
Winding up to just...
no, he was just trying to hit, and then people came in to separate them. It was a real fist fight, but they were younger then. It would have been that close, and I was expecting that it would get to that point at some point during the season. But the reliability issues of Red Bull have made this battle not as close as it should be. Because yes, the car looks good, and yes, the car is fast, but can the car survive through an entire race weekend without catching fire? That's what we want to know, and that has been the problem. They've had 3 races this season. The one race that Max Verstappen finished, he won, but the other 2 races, the car just packed up on him. So there will be no point. I mean, if Red Bull continues like that, there will be no point in which that hatred will continue. But I would have loved to see that battle. Charles Leclerc versus Verstappen. Maybe this time there will be no stewards to separate them. I don't know.
Why do you say that with a smile on your face?
I'm my match best
Ooh.
All right, so
Alright.
let's talk about Arsenal's
Yes, we
coach
kept this
now.
story for people.
Mikel Arteta has praised, his striker Edin Ketia for proving him wrong by scoring 2 goals against Chelsea in the Gunners' 4-2 away win on Wednesday that boosted their chances of qualifying for the Champions League.
Yes, so that win for Arsenal puts them on the same number of points with Tottenham Hotspur, who are in fourth position, who currently occupy fourth position. But the same number of points, same number of games, but Tottenham have scored more goals. And that's the only reason why they are ahead of Arsenal. So that North London derby now has a completely different implication now. Both teams will be going at it for the win, and anybody literally can take that. But for Manchester United, before Arsenal start thinking of Tottenham Hotspur, they have to think of Manchester United on Saturday. Because one thing, they defeat Chelsea and they don't have enough time to celebrate their win because now they have to prepare for Manchester United. And again, a Manchester United Arsenal battle doesn't necessarily come down to form, because both teams, especially in the Sir Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger time, had what some people would call a rivalry. Not necessarily a rivalry because Manchester United was always winning, but it was a bragging rivalry. That's the best. That's the best I can call it. And based on that, both teams have that history, and so form will not also come into this. So Arsenal have to come at this with the from the highs of their Chelsea win against the Manchester United that will come from the lows of their Liverpool win. But the good news for Manchester United is that Cristiano Ronaldo will back in that. So that makes a difference, and he just loves to score against Arsenal. So that is another game for him to step up. But big one for Arsenal, big win for Arsenal. Chelsea fans can complain about the fact that they didn't like the starting lineup from Thomas Tuchel. All of them are players of Chelsea Football Club, and they are paid good money to do their job. Arsenal beats them. And Thomas Tuchel can complain about the grass. Well, the grass was at Stamford Bridge. It's not like it was at Emirates Stadium. So why are you complaining to the visitor? But at the end of the day, Arsenal did the job. They won. Arsenal, brag on.
All right. And as Roma coach Jose Mourinho returns to the scene of one of his greatest achievements in management on Saturday as he looks to derail Inter Milan Serie A title charge. I don't know why I just stumbled on that word.
Exactly. So bottom line, what she really is saying is Inter Milan is playing against Roma, and should Roma defeat Inter Milan, it could derail the title charge that they've recently found. Yes, Inter Milan have one game in hand, but like I've always said, a game in hand doesn't mean 3 points on the board, and so they're going to have that to win that game in hand. But first of all, they have to defeat a Roma side that have been, especially in the year 2022, have been in blistering form under Jose Mourinho. The problem with this Roma side is that they've had one draw too many. And yes, last weekend's draw was a little more welcome because they're playing against, was it weekend? Well, Monday was a little more welcome because they're playing against a Napoli side, and you'd expect that Napoli side that were at some point table toppers would be a hard one, but it's still 2 points dropped whether you like it or not, and so that has derailed their plans a little bit for top four. They're 5 points behind Juventus, and they really do desperately need this win. Inter Milan, on the other hand, know that should they drop any points, AC Milan and Napoli are ready to take over from where they lost. So it's going to be a great battle for Jose Mourinho, going back to the ground where he actually won the treble, and trying to be the villain in their story this time as opposed to the hero. He likes a villain role. But with this Roma team, the way they concede goals, I'd say Inter Milan could win this one by 2-1.
You can record this one.
This one you can record.
Well, it's live on air, so everyone's hearing it. Let's talk Karim Benzema now, who missed 2 penalties in 7 minutes on Wednesday, but Real Madrid still had enough time to defeat Osasuna 3-1 as they continued their march towards the La Liga title.
Yes, sometimes these things are as they say. When they say if you've done something before, you'll be able to do it again. Well, Karim Benzema stepped up, took a penalty to exactly the same spot. So he took the penalty to the left-hand side of the post. Goalkeeper saves it. They get a second penalty. Karim Benzema carried the ball again and said, this time, let me show you how it's done. Places it on the spot. Kicks it again to the left side. goalkeeper saved it for good measure. Like Karim Benzema, did you not try the other side? How about taking it up? How about trying the Panenka? Just something exactly the same run up, exactly the same pace of the shot, exactly the same position. Goalkeeper was just like, thank you very much.
So
It
it looks
was
like the
nice
keeper
doing
has
business with
studied
you.
his penalty
I think
shots.
Karim Benzema just couldn't be bothered. But after he missed the second one, he now looked desperate to make amends. But the good news for Real Madrid was um they're playing an Osasuna side that even if they created chances and caused a lot of disturbance, they didn't have enough quality players up front to finish off the game for them. And so as much as they were in the game, as long as they were in the game with 2-1, they still couldn't close up that gap until Real Madrid scored the third goal and the game was over. But what that means in the scheme of things is that they're 17 points clear of Atletico Madrid. So there's no title defense happening this season. It's done. Atletico Madrid is not defending their title. 17 points clear of Atletico Madrid, but 15 points clear of Barcelona, who are in second position and won last night. A really tough win against Real Sociedad, but a win is a win. So congratulations to Real Madrid. I can say that now proudly. They've won the La Liga. The question is, when are they going to wrap it up and move on with their lives? Because they've clearly won it. No, they've clearly won it. Even if Barcelona wins their game in hand, it's still a 12-point cap.
Wow, I'm just watching the comment section on our YouTube
All right.
channel. So under the show, it's all about Tyson, by the way. So can I say, Olufemi Omotai says, while Tega is slating Mike Tyson for how he pummeled that guy, what about the bad behavior from that guy? We cannot support that kind of assault, I beg. Whilst Ibrahim Hassan says, so are we saying that it's okay to provoke and harass people and then expect them not to react because they're trained boxers? He that didn't give himself brain,
No,
he got what he deserved.
no, it's not okay to harass people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that regardless of this, you are responsible for your own actions. I'm not saying the guy was right. I'm saying Mike Tyson was wrong. Both things can be true at the same time. Mike Tyson could have called the flight attendant and said, you know what, this I'm getting harassed here. Seats could have been moved. Stuff could have been done. He didn't do that. He decided to take the law into his own hands. So the fact that somebody else is wrong doesn't mean that you should do a wrong thing. You should be responsible for your own actions. It's that simple. I'm not saying that woman should have walked across the stadium to go and look for somebody else's trouble. No. I'm just saying that you, regardless of what happens to you, you comport yourself.
Everybody has their burden of responsibility.
You do your part
Ega,
and not be bad.
I'm just waiting to read this Arsenal message.
Okay, read the Arsenal message.
Big E from Ketu says, remember when I told you, Tega, that Arsenal will perform magic? Now you can see. Most derby matches truly form doesn't count. We celebrate this win. I'm not sure Arsenal might win, might beat Man U. The new coach for Man U will want to prove himself. We are patiently waiting when you will pick an Arsenal groom. We will host you well.
Ah,
They're loyal.
I'm thinking of this Arsenal groom now.
They're so
Arsenal
loyal.
groom that can give me twins. That's the.
And Ronson says Durant didn't make a shot in the second quarter of the other than a free throw. That is incredulous. And Emeka says, with regards to Chelsea, we've seen players like Lionel Messi, Firmino, and Kevin De Bruyne play and excel as false strikers. Romelu Lukaku plays as an invisible striker, as he's totally anonymous, even against a terrible Arsenal defense. Lastly, fun facts: Mikel Arteta has never lost in Stamford Bridge in his 5 games there. That place was Arsene Wenger's whooping ground.
Under Mourinho. Before Mourinho, Arsene Wenger used to dominate. Then Mourinho came in and changed Arsene Wenger's fortunes.
He loves being a villain. We've run out of time.
Yes,
We actually have. But you know what? Tackle Tega up on Twitter. She's at Tega Supreme up on Twitter. And I'm really excited about just giving you information about the Ladies in Sports Conference, which is going to be taking place on the 5th of May, and it's going to be, in fact, Tega, do you want to give us some more information? It's going to be at the Echo Hotel in Suite.
Yes, so it starts at 10 a.m. Every industry leader, it's a point for sports to meet business, to meet investors, to meet the media. That's the networking platform you need. And if you have women athletes, I'm sorry, it's called the Ladies in Sports for a reason. That's where you want to be. So if you own a women's club, if you're interested in investing in sports, if you might represent a woman athlete, you want to show up at the Ladies in Sports Conference on the 5th of May at Deco Hotel and Suites from 10 a.m.
And the conference theme is taking the next step. So, guys, if you're ready to take your next steps, all you need to do is go to www.ladiesinsport.com and register, because registration is now open. You're going to be able to see many notable speakers, and we've got we. Yes, I too am a woman in sports in the locker room. We've got Namibian track and field stars Christine Umboma and Beatrice Mazalingi. Those are just a couple of names that are going to be gracing the conference. So make sure you register and turn up, people. Turn up. And that's that for the locker room. Make sure you catch Tega at Tega Supreme. Coming up, Lagos, you will be talking at 9.
Why are you angry already?
Because you look like you've already stopped that YouTube.
Okay, no, I'm not. You want to still dance?
It's too late. So you were looking for my